Hello there, I am Tommy Taco, and welcome back to my New York Yankees franchise. I've just concluded the month of April. We are at May 1st on the schedule. Wanted to take a look at the standings and league leaders, starting with the New York Yankees. As you can see on the screen, we are tied for first with the Rays and Red Sox. I'm sure it'll be quite the battle the whole season with those three teams, and the Orioles and the Blue Jays look to already be eliminated. It is what it is. On to the rest of the standings for the American League. We have the Twins out in front of the Indians and Royals by 5 games. The Tigers and the White Sox round out that division. And then in the AL West, the Angels are surprisingly in first place, followed closely by the Astros, who are 2.5 games out, and the Mariners and Athletics are all within 5 games, with the Rangers bringing up the rear in the West. If we go to the league leaders for the American League, we can see that Jorge Soler is batting .387 and leading the league for the surprising Kansas City Royals, followed by the Twins' Jorge Polanco, the Indians' Carlos Santana, the Rangers' Elvis Andrus, and rounding out the top 5 is the Astros' young outfielder Yordan Alvarez. Soler is leading the league in hits. Doubles, Jose Ramirez of the Indians, Alberto Mondesi of the Royals, Austin Meadows of the Rays, and George Springer all have 11 doubles, to lead the American League. Hunter Dozier leads the American League in triples with 4, followed by 4 players that have 3. Kyle Higashioka, who I affectionately just call Kyle, during the franchise, he is surprisingly in the ranked 6th in the American League in triples with 2. As far as home runs, the Twins continue their home run hitting ways. Miguel Sano leading the league with 15, followed by his teammate Nelson Cruz with 14. Jorge Soler having a big year with the Royals. He has 12 home runs to go with his league leading average. Aaron Judge of the Yankees came on late. He started off slow but went on a power surge, especially during my quick manage sessions. And Tom Murphy also has double digits, the catcher for the Mariners, to round out the top 5 of home runs in the American League. Sano leads the league in ribbies, followed by Soler, Hunter Dozier, Nelson Cruz, and Yordan Alvarez. So some guys having a huge month of April so far. Soler is also leading the American League in runs scored with 28, followed by Nelson Cruz, Whit Merrifield, Aaron Hicks, and Yoan Moncada. Stolen bases, no surprise, D. Gordon leads there. However, Alberto Mondesi is only 3 stolen bases away from D. Gordon, followed by Moncada, Maben, Victor Reyes, and Cesar Hernandez. On base percentage is Santana. Soler is up there as well. OPS, Soler is leading, followed by Sano, Santana, Alvarez, Bregman. So seems like the same guys all at the top there. As far as the pitching, Eduardo Rodriguez of the Red Sox leads the league in wins with 5, followed by a whole slew of players with 4, 2 of which are Yankees, Garrett Cole and James Paxton. Saves, Taylor Rogers leads the league in saves. Our closer, Aroldis Chapman, is off to a rocky start. He only has 5 saves, and he's blown, I believe, 3. So we got that going for us. ERA, Chris Sale with a minuscule .83, followed by Verlander, Greinke, Walden, and Rodriguez. So the Red Sox starting pitching is definitely come to play this season. Shutouts, Verlander leads with 3. As you can see, starting with number 5, Garrett Cole, we have Cole, Severino, and Paxton, all with a complete game shutout for the Yankees so far this season. Strikeouts led by Verlander, followed closely by Cole, Sale, Severino, and Blake Snell. Complete games also led by Verlander, who also leads the league in innings pitched. So Justin Verlander shows no signs of slowing down. Leading the league in WAR as well. Batting WAR is Carlos Santana. So that'll do it for the American League. As far as the National League, let's take a look at them now. National League East, the Mets are leading the Phillies by 4 games, followed by the Nationals, Marlins, and Braves. The Braves off to a disappointing start this season. I would imagine that they would have a hot streak at some point throughout the season. They just have too much talent on that team, but the Mets holding strong, 10 games above 500. The NL Central is led by the Cubs, who are leading over the Reds by 3 games and Cardinals by 4 games. 3 teams in that division have 20 wins. The Brewers also off to a disappointing start, 10 games below 500, followed by the Pirates, who weren't expected to do much this season. So looks like a very tough NL Central, and the NL West is led by the Dodgers, which seems to be a running theme over the last several seasons here, followed by the Rockies and Giants, who are above 500. The Diamondbacks, who are right at 500, and the Padres are in last in the National League East. Let's see who is having big seasons in the National League now. Jason Hayward of the Cubs leads the league with a .406 batting average. Wow. Followed by Christian Yelich, Nolan Arenado, Starlin Marte, who seems to be on the injured list, and Hunter Pence, who's returned to San Francisco, has a .333 average, which is tied with Lorenzo Cain of the Brewers. And Cain leads the league in hits, followed by Freddie Freeman and Chris Bryant. Doubles, Ozzie Albies of the Braves leads the league with 11, but he is tied with 4 other players: Charlie Blackmon, Cody Bellinger, Fernando Tatis Jr., and Avisail Garcia. All have 11 doubles. As far as triples, Aristides Aquinos has 4 triples, followed by Chris Bryant with 3, and then a whole slew of players with 2. Christian Yelich leads the National League with 15 home runs in the month of April, followed by Bryce Harper of the Phillies, Kyle Schwarber of the Cubs, Rhys Hoskins of the Phillies, and Michael Conforto of the New York Mets, as well as Ian Happ of the Chicago Cubs. All of these players have double-digit home runs for this month. Bellinger and Rhys Hoskins are tied for the league lead in RBIs with 30. Eugenio Suarez, Javier Baez, and Bryce Harper follow them. Yelich also leads the league in runs, followed by Andrew McCutchen with 26 runs, Chris Bryant, Ian Happ, and Rhys Hoskins, who's tied with Justin Turner and Bryce Harper for the 5th spot in runs scored. Stolen bases, Starling Marte with 15 stolen bases already this year, even though he's currently on the injured list for the Diamondbacks. He leads the league, followed by Trey Turner with 9. Kevin Newman, Jonathan Villar, and Lorenzo Cain round out the top 5 for stolen bases. Justin Turner leads the league in walks. On base percentage is Jason Hayward. Slugging is Christian Yelich by far with a .807 slugging percentage, more than 100 points higher than the second place Cody Bellinger. OPS also led by Yelich, who's having a big season, but the Brewers are treading water early in the season. As far as the pitching statistics, Trevor Bauer of the Cincinnati Reds and the Los Angeles Dodgers' Walker Buehler lead the league with 6 wins apiece, followed by the Cubs' Yu Darvish and Cy Young Award winner Jacob deGrom of the New York Mets with 5. And then there are 6 players tied with 4 notables: Max Scherzer, Clayton Kershaw, and Jake Arrieta. Saves: Seth Lugo has the control of the Mets closing duties and has 10 saves on the season, tied with Scott Oberg of the Colorado Rockies and Kenley Jansen of the Dodgers. They all have 10. Sir Anthony Dominguez has 9, and Darren O'Day, Josh Hader, and Giovanni Gallegos are tied in the 5th spot with 8 saves each. Walker Buehler leads the league with a 1.35 ERA. Jacob deGrom has 3 shutouts on the season, and Clayton Kershaw has 2. So deGrom, he is 5-0 with a 154. No slowing down from him. Max Scherzer leads the league in strikeouts with 67, and followed by Trevor Bauer, deGrom, Jack Flaherty, and Zach Wheeler. Complete games: deGrom and Clayton Kershaw having a little bit of a resurgence here with 3 complete games. As far as WAR, deGrom leads in WAR, and Jason Hayward leads in WAR for batting. So that rounds out the league leaders for the National League. Now, if we go to the Yankees, we see LeMahieu is batting .294 with 2 home runs and 10 ribbies. Judge picked it up as of late with .286 and 11 home runs with 18 runs batted in. Shortstop Gleyber Torres hitting .259, 4 home runs and 17 ribbies. Stanton .246 with 7 and 16. Aaron Hicks has been hot thus far through the month of April, .298 with 9 home runs and 22 RBIs. Brett Gardner's picked it up of late after a slow start. He's batting .205 with 1 home run and 6 ribbies. Luke Voigt, who is taking control of the first base duties, is batting .316 with 6 home runs and 21 ribbies on the season. And Gio Urshela continues to hit well with a .333 average, 7 home runs, 22 ribbies. Gary Sanchez was injured. We had to call up Chris Iannetta. He is not doing well so far. Kyle is not doing that well either. I look at the end of this video to attempt to make a trade for a catcher. Michael Tauchman has done well in a reserve role. Wade and Estrada, both in limited playing time, are not hitting well. They've done well in the field. And Miguel Andujar, we're trying to get him in the lineup any time we can because he has a wonderful bat as well. So stay tuned, and I will be attempting a trade to upgrade the catcher position. As far as the pitching rotation, Garrett Cole is 4-3 with a .312. Severino's 3-1 with a .302. James Paxton has pitched well. He's 4-0 with a .234. Masahiro Tanaka has also pitched well with a 2-2 record and a 3.57 ERA. And Jordan Montgomery is 2-2 as well with a .382 ERA. J.A. Happ, who did have to make a spot start for Tanaka, who was injured during pregame activities, and Happ pitched well in that game and has also pitched well in his relief outings. His record is 2-1 in 19 innings with a 2.79 ERA. Now on to the bullpen. Ottavino has pitched well. Britton has pitched okay. Holder is not doing well. Chad Green and Canely have both pitched wonderful in relief. However, Aroldis Chapman, he has had some shaky outings and blown some saves. So, needless to say, the Yankee bullpen, which is supposed to be the strongest part of their team, has gotten off to a slow start. Hopefully they pick it up going forward. We're going to need them to win the division. So let's go to the trades. We're going to view the trading block, see if there's a catcher. James McCann is available. And then all the way down to this Willingness Estudillo, or Dio. No. Well, James McCann's on the White Sox. I do believe they have 3 catchers, if I remember correctly, on the active roster. Let's see. They want a second baseman. Okay. I'm attempting to upgrade my catcher position because Sanchez will be out another 34 days, and Iannetta and Kyle just don't hit. They're not bad defensively, they just don't hit. And when Sanchez is out, I'm missing some of that power. James McCann has said power. 56 versus righties and 61 versus lefties, so he's got a little pop in his bat. He's got an expiring deal. Let's see. They want a second baseman. What do we have here? They don't like that. As you can see at the trade bar at the top of the screen, they think they should be getting more in value than what they're offering us. I offered them Hoy Jun Park. Let's see here. Got a 28-year-old with an A potential. Has an expiring deal. We also have an 18-year-old. Let's see. Ooh, they're definitely interested in making that deal. Well, let's see, just to make it easier on me, see if we can trade same positions back and forth. Therefore, I can just replace people rather easily, because you can get stuck in a trade vortex once you make one trade, and then you need a position here and a position there. Before you know it, you've made 8 trades and have a bunch of roster moves to do. I would like to avoid that. Let's see if we can get a second baseman back to stick right into the Double-A lineup to replace John White. Let's give Esteban Quiroz a and they're interested in making that, so I will be acquiring roughly $5 million in salary. However, it is worth it because Sanchez likes to get injured. I'm going to suggest this trade. Let's hope it goes through. And they accept after I hit the right button. Alright, so we got that going for us. Let's go to the Yankees. We will add Mr. McCann. Oh, well, we got some notifications here from the farm. Domingo Germán posted a 1.47 ERA in April, collecting 37 strikeouts over 30.2 innings, which that is a promising sign. Closing pitcher Daniel Alvarez posted an 0.96 in April, striking out 9 in 9 innings. Clint Frazier raked in April, posting a 3.14 average while driving in 13 runs. Double-A player update, Everson Pariah tore it up in April, batted .322, driving in 14 runs. Struggling pitcher Nick Nelson was hit hard in April, posting a 5.19 ERA and 15 free passes in 17 innings. Yikes. Struggling Double-A pitcher was Brian Keller, who had a 9.87 ERA in 17 innings. Oh boy. And the White Sox have finally agreed to our trade deal, so that will give us James McCann, and we are all good. So that wraps it up. We got James McCann, which should be a valuable backup this season for when Sanchez needs a breather when he does come back, which is not for another 34 days. So we're trying to sustain some offensive production that we weren't getting. The next broadcast will be from Toronto, as I will be playing as the New York Yankees with James Paxton, and we will roll into Toronto, and I will be playing that game. So far on the season, I am 3-2 when I start games. I have quick managed the rest if you've just started following along, so I've been a part of every decision in the season, but this is the game I will be playing. Hope to see you then. Take care.